Right now, the damage that customers are seeing at the pump works out to about an extra $9 in order to fill up your tank. And Letic says that those prices are just going to continue to go up until it peaks around the long weekend in July. Cindy Letic, CTV News, Calgary. The last time Alberta had just 2 parties running the show was back in 1993 when it came down to the PCs and the Liberals. For St. Newsfile, I'm Cindy Letic. The 2019 provincial election saw a 70% voter turnout, which is the highest it's been since 1975. So it seems as though Albertans were pretty pumped to have their say. Back to you, Chris. Well, Danny, that's right. We are just about 30 minutes away from the Rainbow Reception, which is all about inclusion. And earlier this week, SAITSA held an interesting event here on campus that focused on drag culture. And what I've learned so far is that as far as we've come to embracing the culture, we still have a ways to go. And as I mentioned before, the Rainbow Reception kicks off in about half an hour. Expect some good food, great drinks, and, of course, a killer drag show. Back to you, Danny. So across the province, again, those temperatures aren't too bad, but we do have a system moving in from the BC coast, as I mentioned before, that's actually bringing in a snowstorm into Lethbridge as well as Fort Macleod. Calgary's going to see a bit of snow overnight, but nothing too crazy, so as long as you plan accordingly, you should be good. And again, always more layers is better. Let's take a look at what's happening in the next 5 days for Calgary. Election day is approaching quickly and the candidates are vying for your votes. Young people are especially in their target audience. A crowd of U of C students showed up at Mac Hall this week hoping to hear what the parties had to say and how that might help them make up their minds.
For students, I think the choice couldn't be clearer. I mean, Rachel Notley has proven that she shares the priorities and values of Albertans and is supportive of healthcare, education, and in particular post-secondary education.
Spending in and for universities was definitely a hot topic, but some hope the debate would have touched on more than just money.
Younger people care a lot more about social issues than, let's say, my parents' or grandparents' generation. So the fact that it wasn't really brought up a lot tonight was a little disappointing. I think it would have been a great way for the parties to connect with university students.
Students make up a large part of the voters in our province, and Elections Alberta has been using social media to reach out to them. Twitter even came up with a voting emoji that automatically attaches to posts with the hashtag #ABVote. Advanced polling stations on campuses have certainly made it easier for students to cast their ballot, but no matter how convenient, some still believe nothing will change no matter who they vote for. But Frank Finley disagrees.
Everything is political, including the funding for our post-secondary institutions. And so when I hear my friends or somebody I know say that, I say, well, actually, it will make a difference.
Advanced polling stations will remain open until Saturday night, and the general election day in Alberta is April 16th. For St. Newsfile, I'm Cindy Letic.
It's always cause for celebration when we welcome new partners to the SAIT family.
Currently, Indigenous students make up only 1% of SAIT's population. The coordinator of SAIT Chinook Lodge, Larry Gauthier, says there needs to be a sense of urgency to change that.
The gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people's education employment gap continues to grow. And it's going to create problems if we let it continue to grow. So we need to increase access.
The Métis Education Foundation wants to do just that. In order to make this happen, the foundation will contribute a total of $500,000, while SAIT will donate $250,000 over the next 10 years. TransCanada is also adding an extra $100,000 to the pot, a whopping total of $950,000.
So what will happen with the endowment is that the principal will be invested and kept in perpetuity, and we will use a portion of the interest raised on that endowment to fund the scholarship support for the students. So it will be available to them forever.
The Métis Nation of Alberta's president, Audrey Poitras, says the fund and the partnership with SAIT will give Métis students more options when it comes to their future.
And you know, that's what it's all about, is helping those students get to where they want to be, because then it isn't only important to them, it's important to their families, it's important to the community. They just become another bigger part of our family.
Close to 500,000 people in Canada are considered Métis, and that population is on the rise. Many of them are young people under the age of 30. The Rupert's Land Institute and the Métis Education Foundation have set up endowments and partnerships in 15 post-secondary institutions across Alberta since 2008. For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Cindy Letic.